struggle. Of course, in the past history, 7th century, 8th century, 9th century, for example, 1954 autumn, I went to Peking. 1955 summer, I returned to Lhasa. On the way, I spent a few days in ancient Chinese capital, Xingen, where one Buddhist temple, the Buddha statue, which kept in Lhasa, most sort of sacred Buddha statue. That actually, from there, the 7th century, the Tibetan emperor married with Chinese princess. So with princess, you see this statue brought to Tibet. So I spent a few days that city. One day, afternoon, we just touring an old wall. A very high official who accompanied with me, and we just sat on the ancient wall. Then he told me, in ancient time, Tibetan army reached up to here. Chinese emperor compelled to fled from capital. He told me. So it is true, I think 8th century or 9th century, Tibetan sort of army used to reach there. So like that. So according to some sort of, we are not seeking independence for mutual benefit. If we insist independence, then it gradually creates confrontation. Confrontation eventually bring violence. I always telling, because of the people, outside the world, in the West or everywhere, I often sit expressing Palestine problem cannot solve through confrontation, only through dialogue, mutually agreeable solution. That's the only way to solve this problem. Since 1948, this problem started. Still that problem there. Dangerous problem. Because it's both sides, you see, more sort of confrontation way. So therefore, while I'm telling people, other people, criticize, and actually I always telling, this century should be a century of dialogue, because 20th century becomes century of violence. According to some historian, in 20th century, through violence, over 200 million people killed through violence. So, that immense violence, if really brought better shape of world, it not happen. Like Syrian problem. All this, I feel, symptom of past centuries' mistake, past centuries' negligence. So even I think now, okay. So therefore, now this century should be a century of dialogue. Means problem always there. Whether we like it or not, we have to live together. Only sensible way is talk. Try to solve through mutually agreeable solution. Not one side victory, one side defeat. Not that way. So while I'm telling other people, I have a full conviction, then our own problem also, you see, have to solve through that way. So that's why middle way approach, not seeking independence. Since 1974, we made up in our mind, sooner or later we have to talk with Chinese government. And question of independence is irrelevant, because of unrealistic. So mutually agreeable solution is the only way. So middle of approach, we start. So Chinese government level, no concrete result happened. But people's level, number of Chinese intellectuals, writers, many Chinese Buddhists, because we are not seeking independence, we are not seeking separation. So many of this really showing solidarity and full support. Now over 2 years, we noticed 1,000 articles in Chinese language wrote by Chinese. All these over 1,000 Chinese articles in Chinese language all fully support about our way of approach. Very critical, their own government policy. So that is, I consider, the positive effect from our way of approach. Now look, Chinese hardliner officials still accuse us splitist. They know we are not committed splitist movement, but they deliberately repeat that. Even to some extent, you see, they mentioned me, demon. So when I first heard, you see, that, I react, yes, I'm demon with horns. So these, you see, they are hardliner. You see, they need splitist movement. Then they find it very easy to suppress. So Chinese government official media never mentioned our middle wave approach. Only, you see, Dalai Lama splitist, Dalai Lama's clique, Dalai Lama clique, splitist against the Chinese motherland. No, whole world knows like that. So therefore, actually our more activities about independence is actually helping those Chinese hardliner officials. And then government of India also, you see, fully support about our middle wave approach. And the United States government also fully support. And the European Union also fully support. If we follow independence, I think firstly Indian government find it very difficult to support. Like that. So we should be, as I mentioned earlier, use human wisdom. Decision should not take under influence of emotion. Decision must take under human intelligence, holistic way. Isn't it? Thank you. Thank you.
We understand that many of us are seeking answers to our questions. Questions are many, but the time available to us is limited. And His Holiness always walks amongst His people, embodying compassion and reviving hope. As a token of the gratitude of everybody present in the audience today, may I request Srimati Jayashree Mota to present a memento to our esteemed guests. This painting is a Patachitra done on tussar silk using vegetable dyes, prepared by artist of Raghurajpur village near Puri, Odisha. Sir, media. The message that His Holiness has given to us today shall remain in our hearts, and we would like the memories of today's experience to stay with us forever. To commemorate your first visit to Greater Noida, could I request you, Your Holiness, to bless a Bodhi tree for us? This tree, blessed by His Holiness, would be planted at the BIMTech campus, Greater Noida. May I now request our Deputy Director, Dr. Anupam Verma, to please propose a vote of thanks.
His Holiness Dalai Lama and his entourage, Srimati Jayashree Mohta, Srimati Rajshri Birla, Shri Vikash Kandoi, Dr. H. Chaturvedi, distinguished guests, media persons, faculty, students, ladies and gentlemen. As we come to the end of this function, it is my privilege to extend a vote of thanks to everyone who has made the event a great success. We are indeed very fortunate and privileged to have amongst us here today His Holiness Dalai Lama, a distinguished thought leader, a great leader, and an eminently respected person around the world as the chief guest. We feel that BIMTech and Greater Noida are blessed to be able to host such a revered scholar, guru, teacher, and mentor. As our distinguished chairperson of BIMTech Board of Governors has put it, His Holiness is truly an apostle of peace, brotherhood, and tolerance. In his address today, His Holiness has so incisively analyzed the current status of working of human mind so far as success is concerned and the accompanying stress and longing for happiness. His words of wisdom today will go a long way to be a beacon light in guiding our path to success and happiness. On behalf of BIMTech and its Board of Governors, and indeed on behalf of everyone present here, I deem it a unique honor to convey with great humility our gratitude and sincere thanks to you, sir. My thanks are also due to Mr. Tempa Shrink, representative of His Holiness Dalai Lama and his team. They have been a great help in guiding us towards successful planning for the whole function. My special thanks and gratitude go to Srimati Rajshri Birla, who has taken all the trouble to come and grace this function by her benign presence. Her acceptance of our invitation has been a great motivating factor. I express my sincere thanks and gratitude to the Chairperson, BIMTech Board of Governors, Srimati Jayashree Mohta and Shri Vikash Kandoi, for having graced this function with their presence. They are always very supportive in any and every activity that we undertake towards the benefit of students and the society at large. But for the great response from the distinguished guests, we could not have seen this function through successfully. I convey our heartfelt gratitude and thanks to the industry leaders, senior diplomats, corporate leaders, senior bureaucrats, academicians, senior citizens, and other distinguished guests from different hues present here. I do hope that all the troubles taken by them in coming here on a Sunday afternoon has been adequately compensated by the takeaway from the thought-provoking address delivered by His Holiness. My special thanks are also due to the chairman of the Greater Noida and Yamuna Expressway Authority, Mr. Rama Raman, and all the distinguished officials who have been very kind to grant us the requisite permission to hold this function and have encouraged us by their presence. District authorities, including the district magistrate and the senior police officials, have encouraged us with their support. My sincere thanks to all of them. The coverage by the media people has always been a great support to us. This time also they are present in large numbers. I thank them all. Many organizations have supported us in this endeavor, like the National HRD Network, MBAUniverse.com, Education Promotion Society of India, Noida Management Association, Delhi Management Association, Rotary Club of Noida, Noida Entrepreneurs Association, Varisht Nagrik Samaj, Greater Noida, Association of Greater Noida Industry, and Parichok.com. I sincerely thank all for their support. Ladies and gentlemen, preparation for an event of the importance and magnitude like this cannot happen overnight. The wheels started rolling weeks ago. It required planning and bird's eye for details. I must acknowledge with deep gratitude the support received from the very dedicated team of JP officials. They ensured that the event is organized in a totally hassle-free manner. The BIMTech team also worked very hard, and there was complete coordination between the JP and the BIMTech teams. I compliment them all. We thank you all for being with us this afternoon and for all the attention. It's been a great pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. His Holiness and his entourage would now be leaving the venue. Could I request all of you to please remain in your places and allow His Holiness and his entourage to leave the venue first. Could I request everyone to please remain in your places?